Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Tay. Listen, I'm not by myself today. You might say, Tay, who are all these beautiful women on the screen with you today? Well, welcome to our first episode kicking off the month of July on Live with Tay. It is my great honor to introduce you all to three phenomenal women who are shaping the way that we not only view strings, but trio collaboration as well. Their latest project that is out now is taking the world by storm. I'm gonna give y'all a little peek in a little bit, but Troubled Liberty is their first original composition. And we're gonna go ahead and have a little conversation with these three beautiful ladies. Welcome to Live with Tay, the String Queens.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a great introduction.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We're definitely going to talk about the music and all of that. But before we kick into that, I'd like for each of you all to introduce yourselves to the Live with Tay audience. Tell them your name. Let them know your instrument of voice is what I'm going to call this today. And then tell me one thing that you believe people misunderstand about your instrument.
Okay.
Okay. Kendall, you going to kick us off? Go ahead.
Yes, I'll kick us off.
All right.
My name is Kendall Nicole Isidore, and I'm the violinist in the String Queens. And something that I think people misunderstand about the string art form is that it has one dimension. I think people don't realize that we are multidimensional as string players. And then when you start to add the various facets of our lives and our experiences and what we specifically, Kendall, Dawn, and Elise bring to the music, we're bringing our Black womanhood to the music. We're bringing energy to the music. We're bringing triumph to the music. Sometimes we're bringing tragedy to the music. And I think people don't realize that it's a storytelling mechanism, and it's far beyond just the original Eurocentric idea that I think most of us think about. So,
oh, Kendall. Like the kids say, I think that's the T.
Kids, right?
Clock it.
Clock it.
Clock it. All right. Dawn,
Yes.
go next.
Yes. I am Dawn Johnson. I am the violist in the String Queens. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I wear the 305 very proudly. And like I said before, I'm the violist in the String Queens. And so I'm actually going to go with, people often mistake that I play the violin and not the viola because they look so similar and they sound so similar. But the timbre of the instrument is actually a little bit different from the violin. If you look at us like a family, I am sandwiched right between the violin and the cello, right in the middle. And so I carry the middle voicing in our arrangements. Sometimes I play the melody along with Kendall. Sometimes I play rhythm down with Elise. And I love playing the viola because of its versatility, and also because not very many people play the viola. Everybody wants to play the violin. Everybody wants to play the piano or the cello. No one ever really wants to play the viola. So I wear that very proudly.
Well, you know what, Dawn? I appreciate you. Mom, if you're watching this, I played the viola.
Come on, Tay.
I love that.
I did. And just listening to you all, I think to myself, my mom is going to watch this and say, see, you could have been a part of the String Queens if you would have continued. But I found boys. And then I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, those doggone boys.
Like they say, boys and books don't mix.
Or instruments, right? Or instruments in that case. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Elise, last but not least, introduce yourself.
Hello. Happy to be here. Thank you so much, Tay. My name is Elise Sharp. I am the cellist of the String Queens. And some misunderstandings about the cello. One, it's not an oboe. Two, it's not a bass. Three, it ranges. We can go from a violin to a viola down to a bass. We explore all of the ranges of the instrument, and we are soloists. We are harmony. We are the bass line, which is why sometimes people think we're a bass. But we can hit all parts, and all I need to do sometimes is just play all the parts. You think you're a part of an ensemble. What?
I love thinking about each one of your instruments or your voices that you all use when you play, each of you all have your own sound, your own way of expression. But the beautiful thing that I believe about the String Queens is that you're powerful individual, but when you all go collectively, there's so much power in the sound and the music that you all create. And so let's go ahead and get into the music, right? Let's get into it. And so your new piece is out, Troubled Liberty, and this was your first original composition that you all created together. Kendall, share a little bit about what was it like diving in to your first composition?
Hey, it was audacious of us to dive into our first composition. And I think there were a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions. But pride was one of those, right? Like, we envisioned not only this single, but we were already thinking about the direction we wanted to go in with this fourth album. We've already said so much with the 3 albums that precede this one. And so I think the breakout single, the first thing that people hear since this release in 2022 was really important to us. We knew we needed to have something to say. So when we sat down, and we always go to a whiteboard, you know, we're educators full-time as well as concert performers. And so everything kind of starts with an idea and a whiteboard. It used to be the chalkboard, whiteboard with dry erase markers. And we said, you know, what do we want to say? How do we want to respond to the times, right? Do we want to just kind of blindly go out there and just compose something as if we're not living the world that we're living in? Or do we want to actually do what Dawn always reminds us, Nina Simone says, which is, as artists, we're responsible for responding to what's going on around us. We have to stay silent is to be complicit, or to be is what we believe. And so when we sat down in Dawn's basement and started kind of saying, well, how do we want it to start? Do we want it to be a quick tempo? Do we want it to be a meditative tempo? Do we want people to be able to think right off the gate? Do we want it to be predictable? Do we want it to sound familiar? We kept coming around to the idea of our own Negro spiritual, Tay. You know, there's so many, Wade in the Water, you know, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, you know, Motherless Child. And our previous album, it opens with Motherless Child, based on John Blake, amazing jazz violinist John Blake's arrangement. And so we had all of these ideas and these influences, but it was like, how do we put the String Queen stamp on it? And so we opened it with My Country 'Tis of Thee. The listeners will hear this. My Country 'Tis of Thee is how it opens, but it opens with a very solemn and almost hopeless cello drone, which is a drone is just one note or 1 or 2 notes that just are sustained and consistent. And then the violin enters with the familiar melody of My Country 'Tis of Thee. But when I get to the Of Thee I Sing part, it goes into the minor version of the song or of the key, instead of what we all know, Of Thee I See. We play it, or I play it as the violinist, Of Thee I See, right? It's
so it changes.
It gives a different voice to it. And then Dawn comes in with Wade in the Water. She kind of undergirds this entire idea. So you have the drone, you have My Country 'Tis of Thee, but it's not quite what I remember it as in grade school. And then you have Wade in the Water. And so now you hear an ocean, you hear a storm, and then we run into this quick tempo. I don't want to give too much away from the tune, but when we finally pieced it together, it was over months, Tay. It wasn't something that kind of came together. You know, the first melody, the original melody, I told you about Wade in the Water and My Country 'Tis of Thee, but the original melody that bridges it all together, that came in one sitting. And as Elise played the drone, and we knew we wanted to be something that sounded like a spiritual, I just started playing this melody out of nowhere. It was an A minor, and it sounded probably like the hymns I grew up with in church, but I just started playing it. And then Dawn started playing, and then Elise started playing, and then we have gaka, gaka, and now we're running, and now you're hearing Harriet almost in the Underground Railroad as you're listening. And it just developed from there. So I'm proud, I'm honored. And I hope people receive it as what we think it is, but also with their own interpretations.
Yeah. No, in my mind, as you're sharing the story with so much passion, all I can do is think about Dawn's basement. I'm like, how did it go down in this basement? 3 phenomenal, creative, intelligent women saying, okay, here's this whiteboard. I'm gonna throw this on there. Okay, what you gonna follow with? Oh no, we gotta mix it like this. And so I think so important. And for those of you watching, you will get an opportunity to get a little snippet. I'm gonna let you get a little snippet, because just hearing you share that emotion and the thought process behind it, it makes it even more vivid. Because when you think of the String Queens, you all are storytelling and sharing emotion without lyrics. And so, Dawn, how does it feel to communicate without words?
That's a beautiful question, Tay. And it's a very intimate question because you have to explore alternate ways to find your voice without having those words. And when you just mentioned the basement, I have two children who are always running around my basement. I had my 3-year-old Brody and my 12-year-old Briley. And so when Elise started with that drone, that very just contemplative drone, my son actually at the same time, it was his nap time and he was very tired and he was whining and he was wailing. And in my mind, and actually all of our minds, how could we take that and translate that into music? Because it was so synonymous with the character of the music that we were trying to portray. And then I have my sprightly 12-year-old who's running around playing the flute. And at the moment, she actually played an introduction with us on her flute of "Oh, when the saints go marching in." And so we had all of these melodies, "Wade in the water," "My country 'tis of thee," the wailing of my 3-year-old, "Oh, when the saints go marching in." And we drew so much inspiration from the homogenous sound that all of those melodies were able to create. And that sound translates into the spirit, translates into the heart. And there's an unspoken language between all of us, right? That language is called empathy. When we're able to feel one another, when we're able to really connect with our fellow neighbor, our fellow brother, our fellow sister, and often empathy comes without words because we're able to connect with each other on a spiritual level. And so for us as the String Queens, the connection in our spirituality is we're believers. We are people of faith. We believe in God. That is the crux of everything that we do. It is the nucleus of everything that we do. And when we go into rehearsals, oftentimes we don't have the words for what we're trying to communicate musically. And so we know we trust each other. It's the faith, it's that shared faith, that belief that allows us to have trust in one another and what we're able to express without using our words. Because I trust your heart. I trust your faith. I trust where you believe. I trust our sisterhood. And it's this trust that when we're able to translate it into an audience with our music, now they're trusting us. They're trusting us with something very personal. They're trusting us with their emotions. They're trusting us with their journey. There's so many listeners who come, new listeners who come to our shows and say, "Hey, this is my first time out of the house and I just lost my wife. I just lost my child." And so often when we have those experiences, it's not until the very end of the concert, after we play an hour and a half worth of music, that someone was able to make that connection. And in that hour and a half, even when you take out Kendall's narration during the concert, we're still communicating. There's still a connection. You hear those melodies, you hear those lulls, you hear that harmony that creates dissonance. You hear things that are coming together, creating beautiful sounds. And it's all the different sounds that come together that really just form the totality of the music, that forms the totality of the relationship. And it really opens up a new pathway for us to be able to live with one another and coexist with one another and understand one another, even when we don't necessarily have the words to articulate it. I think of a visual artist. I think of a painter. I think of a dancer. And in the music video, we have a dancer, Radiance, who does a beautiful job conveying all of the things that we are expressing musically. And again, with no words, she's using her body. And so the arts are just beautiful. They're just a beautiful connecting force for people to be able to communicate with one another when we don't have the words, because we're using our expressive nature as human beings, the things that make us connect, the things that make us whole, to be able to come together. And so that's just, where we are. That's what I have to say about it, Tay. I don't know
Like
if
a
you add anything onto
that.
that.
Praise them, because I felt every bit of what you're sharing there, by all means. And so if you're just joining us, I've got the beautiful String Queens who've got their latest project out called Troubled Liberty. So listen, Elise, you have gotten probably the heaviest of the instruments to have to tote. And look how she just handles it. It's just like, it's nothing. I'm just resting on it. It's nothing with that. And so with this project, Troubled Liberty, it was released on Juneteenth. And for all of us people of color, that is such a historic and important day to us. And so to have released your first composition with that, why was it so important for you all to select Juneteenth as a release date for this particular project?
Well, first, about the cello being heavy, my conductor said, now, if you cannot carry that thing, you shouldn't be playing it. So,
Period.
So I learned that I had to have the strength to carry this if I was going to continue playing it. And he hadn't said another word to me since, because my daddy used to carry it. My mom used to carry it. He was like, you can't come into orchestra with this. And so, so that explains how I can just whip that thing around, because I was raised that I have to carry such a heavy thing like it's light. Mm-hmm. And to your question, Juneteenth is such a heavy day for us. It's an exciting day, and it also brings you some kind of pause. We're happy for the liberation, but to be honest, we're sitting here like, and why did that take so long? And so releasing this on Juneteenth, it was our story, as Don and Kendall said. It's our story. It's our story of ancestral struggle. It's our story of hope. It's our story of liberation. And when we speak of liberation, why in the world wouldn't we release that on Juneteenth? I mean, the title alone, Troubled Liberty. I mean, Troubled Liberty is almost synonymous with Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I mean, here's this great day for us. But it's a day that was given to us late, and it's a jubilation that we're free. But then you feel the people that had to endure what they endured before freedom. And troubled liberty, like Kendall and Don say, it starts solemn. It starts with a heaviness. And and excuse me, because whenever we play this, I'm almost in tears.
I was.
Listen.
Literally. I was like, why am I crying?
Right. I look at Don and Kendall, and you would have thought I ran a marathon. I'm like, but it's that emotional. It's that heavy. And to think of the struggle of our people and what they've been through, to hear, like Kendall says, the running, when the cello goes, da, 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 and then the viola comes in and with the cello, and we're running towards something. We're running towards freedom. And then there's this beautiful classical section that goes with this beautiful harmonic scale, harmonic minor scale. And there's our hope. Listen, the song ends with a question mark. The song ends, we're not ending on the tonic here, but we're ending with the hope, with the question, what are we free?
Oof.
Like, what does this look like? What does freedom look like? Where are we as a people? Where are we as a society? Where are we going? How are we doing it? It begs all of those questions. And in this time, I think Troubled Liberty was an excellent choice to release on Juneteenth.
I don't even know. I didn't even wear lashes because I knew that when I played this, I may get emotional. So I'm going to warn you all that are watching. We're going to play a clip of their latest single called Troubled Liberty. And then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more. And then we're going to lighten the mood. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So y'all keep it locked. It is Alive with Tay, and it is with great pleasure that I present to you a song that definitely needs to be added to your playlist, Troubled Liberty by the String Queens. Keep it locked. We'll be back.
When we saw the three women playing string instruments, which was really beautiful, it made me think back to the three women who sent the first man, the first American, into space. Into space. Into space.
I told y'all, listen, that particular, the video, because I've been dying to talk about the video. I am a video girl. And so for those of you all that are just tuning in, just in case you missed it, that is Troubled Liberty by the String Queens, the video. I grew up in a day of Donnie Simpson, Video Soul, where the videos, you know, I hear a song and then you couldn't wait to see if the video matched the imagery of what, you know, what you were looking for. And so this video, I have been dying to have you all on here because when it kicks off, Nikki Giovanni, she refers to you all, one of my favorite movies, Hidden Figures, The Women of Hidden Figures. Why did you all select that as an opening? I've got to know. I got my own story, but I got to hear it from the ladies. So why did you all select that?
I mean, as soon as it happened, I think we were all stunned. Now, mind you, the soundbite came from an event, a virtual event that we did in collaboration with Nikki and the school district we were working with at the time. And so this was a live event. So we didn't know she was going to say this. Like we didn't know that was going to be her response. There was no script. It was her raw reaction from the piece that we played. And so we were all stunned in the moment. And I think sometime after we talked about it and we were in a rehearsal getting ready for another concert. And I think we said like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if we could do a collaboration? It kind of started with like, can we work with her? Now, of course, we're talking about now the late Nikki Giovanni, but at this time she was still with us. And we talked to our manager and we said, man, can we make this happen? And so we were actually in talks to do one of two things. We were in talks to see how we could work with her or put put her voice on another piece. We were trying to get her on Rise, actually, our previous album.
Mhm.
But she was also working with us to get us to the school that she was working on. Ladies, was it University of Virginia? No, it was Virginia Tech.
I was gonna say it was Virginia Tech because I'm from Virginia.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, VA. And we were shocked. She was like, yeah, we have this event coming up and we would like to invite the string queens. I'm going to put everybody in contact with you. And one thing led to another, and we had some conflicts. And so the event never happened. And then she had some conflicts with the art part. And so we didn't get a chance to collaborate on a song, but we still had the soundbite. And we said, when we had the whiteboard with the titles and with the friends we wanted to play on this record with, we said, man, how can we involve? And I think we were talking about this before Troubled Liberty had even come to fruition, before it was even a piece. So when it came to fruition and we knew we wanted it to open the album, we said, well, what if Nikki, because the very fact that she would compare us to these giants, and I have a biology bachelor's degree from Howard University. And as a scientist,
HU.
Come on, HU, you know, there's always a bison somewhere in the room. I'm like, I know y'all are out there. It's just like, what? Not to mention the film, not to mention the story, the true story of these three giants in aeronautics and aerospace who were responsible for such a monumental moment in history. And she compared us to kind of taking that mantle, taking that baton and kind of elevating this art form in that way. I think it was a no-brainer, Tay.
To me, it was a slam dunk. It's like the Knicks winning the championship, right? I mean, it's just, it was just that good. And so when you think about Hidden Figures and you think about Nikki Giovanni, right? In my personal Tay opinion, the String Queens are definitely monumental. You all are history makers in the flesh right now, just showing our generation that is coming after us the beauty of the strings, the instruments, how to be outside of what the world would call the box, right? And just making music that will last and speak for generations to come. And so to me, when I heard the Nikki Giovanni and I thought about that, I'm like, wow, these are more women in history that are impact, that is just such a phenomenal impact. And so when you think about the title, Troubled Liberty, and you all touched on it a little bit earlier, right now in our world with everything that's going on, and even in music, there's not a lot of music that is being commercialized that is positive storytelling, authentic storytelling. And so how does it feel to have, I think you all have, your upcoming album is called What We Carry. Is that right? I think I read that. Right. What We Carry, which is another, I'm like, who's coming up with these titles? Like, what? What We Carry. Why? What would you all say as artists, as women, it's so important for you all to carry what you're carrying through the String Queens to those that are listening?
Yeah. Tay, if I can chime in for a second, it's Dawn. I just want to backtrack really quickly to something really important that Kendall said in the last question you asked about why Nikki Giovanni, why this soundbite, why this is the opening. The comparison with Hidden Figures also has another layer of significance because Katherine Johnson is one of those hidden figures that Nikki Giovanni was referring to. And Katherine Johnson has a niece. Her name is Beverly Kane Baker, and she is an African-American female violist. She was the principal violist of the Virginia Symphony Orchestra, and she held that position for many, many years. And so when we talk about we're far more connected than we think we are, this is a living descendant of Katherine Johnson, who actually didn't pass away too long ago. I believe she passed away, but it wasn't very long ago because connect with Beverly on social media, and they were still throwing celebrations and honoring Katherine Johnson's life. And so when I think of the connection between Katherine Johnson and Beverly Kane Baker and this lineage and legacy of Black excellence, of just Black intellect, Black women who are just soaring in terms of every field, in science, in music, in the arts, and just all over the place. And then we're just far more connected than we think we are. We're relatives, we're related, whether it be biologically or not biologically. There are far more connections in this sphere than what we think. And so that was just one direct connection that was really important with the Nikki Giovanni opening, talking about the hidden figures and drawing that connection also with Beverly Kane Baker, who was the first African-American female principal violist of the Virginia Symphony.
Yes, and I forgot about that. And I'm from Virginia, and
Yes.
So I'm like, yes. I love it. I love it. Hey, Lisa, I think you were getting ready to say something.
I was. What I was going to say was when you spoke about us in such a beautiful way, and in who we are, and being, iconic, and putting us up, in, for lack of a better term, up so high. I almost turned around like, who's she talking about? Yeah, right. And I was thinking, I was just at the Aldi's getting some cucumbers, and you think about what you do in your everyday, and you talk about what we carry. And it's important for us to bring this project, this whole album, because we do carry a lot, and we're also human beings. Sometimes people see us, and it's so funny because when you're fangirling over someone else, you're having an experience. But when we have our concerts and do these meet and greets, and people are like, oh my gosh. And I was like, y'all, I'm about to sit in the hotel bed and have a steak dinner. You have no idea. I am not going to Ruth's Chris after this. I hope the kitchen is open. You think about who you really are. But you do understand that people are just happy to see you, happy to see us with these instruments, and happy to see and see what we represent. We've been cheerleaders of our own idols, or our own people that we've respected. And it's important for us to bring who we are into this space as African-American Black women of various backgrounds, various upbringings. And that's the beauty of the three of us. I mean, sometimes people see three Black women and they think we're all the same, and we all think the same, and we all carry the same, but we don't. What we carry are so many different things, but we do have shared experiences. And we hope that this album, not just the album, but the meaning of what we carry just is relayed to them, because there's joy in what we carry. There is struggle in what we carry. There's love in what we carry. There is sadness. I mean, we've had quite a year, and
it's only the 7th month, right?
Okay. The struggle is real, but the struggle doesn't break us, and so we carry a lot, but God has given us enough. He hasn't given us anything we can't bear, anything we can't carry. So we're proud to present this piece. We're proud to present who we are in this different way. I mean, we have 3 albums that, we love, we enjoy it. And what we carry is a little more in depth, I would say.
Would you all say it's more personal? Because in this project, you all have composed more like
yes.
Right?
It's more personal, more vulnerable. I mean, composing is no small feat. I mean, it's writing your paper and exposing it to the world. It's not just your professor. You're exposing a lot. You're exposing how you feel and your thoughts, and everyone doesn't agree, but you just put it out there. Put it out there. And it was just time for us to put it out there.
Well, I'm happy that y'all put it there, because Troubled Liberty is a whole vibe in itself. Like I'm saying, y'all add it to your playlist. And then what we carry, definitely, just even in the title itself right now as women, I don't know about y'all because y'all are young, but I'm in that menopause life, that and
Pere,
what I'm
pere, pere.
Perry, right? And when it is my time, I'm gonna ask the Lord, why do we have to go through this? But it's something you just said, we carry it, and he doesn't give us anything we can't carry, right? And so
Amen.
this particular project, I hope that those of you that are watching that are not familiar with the String Queens, that you do go back and check out their previous, I like to call it the catalog, because they do have an amazing catalog. But if you don't do anything else, make sure that you add Troubled Liberty to your playlist, and let's go ahead and pre-save what we carry. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to wait. I want y'all when they post and they say it's time, I need you to go ahead and get that, and don't wait. Don't wait on it. Go ahead and get it and support them. And so what's ahead? Like, what can we expect in the rest of 2026 from the String Queens?
Well, you can expect a lot more tour dates. We have a lot more of the year to go in terms of travel. We're going to be all over the country for the rest of the year, everywhere from New York and upstate New York to the West Coast, where we have a Beverly Hills show in December. I mean, we're kind of all over. But I also wanted to touch on just one really exciting thing, the follow-up to Troubled Liberty. Just get ready. If you had an experience and you really enjoyed Troubled Liberty, you mentioned the original music. There's a follow-up original composition that was written by our very own cellist, Elise Sharp.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo!
Give her flowers now, as the young people say, because it's going to knock you off of your socks. I mean, it's funky, it's groovy, it's passionate, it's intimate, just like she said. And she wrote it. And we've already played arrangements. Everybody kind of arranges and contributes to the group. And so we've played Elise's arrangements before, and they're already killing. But this one is just an elevation of her brain, of her psyche. I feel like of your musical psyche, Elise, and just your creative palette is just on another level. So that's the follow-up. So that's also next in the next couple months, along with a visual, the album itself. And God has favored us, God has favored us. And we
Amen.
What's next? And we are welcome with open arms. We are open to whatever he has for us, because we know what he has for us is for us. But it's really for the world. We know that.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. And you all mentioned something. One thing that everyone that is watching this knows about me, I love me a good concert. And so I had the opportunity to actually see you all perform live. And I will tell you, it is an experience. So being able to sit here and get to know you all a little bit better, and just knowing that this body of work is out here and what you've shared behind it, I'm excited about what the future holds for you all. And I'm just saying, Atlanta, somebody book them so we can have us a show down here in Atlanta, because it's definitely a body of work that we that we definitely want to enjoy and to support you all, because what you all are creating musically is something so special, so special. And so I always tell everybody, it costs you absolutely nothing to share music that you love with someone else, because there's someone who's never heard of the String Queens that has Troubled Liberty is going to speak to them in the place where they are. And music is healing. Yes. And right now, a lot of us, whether you're smiling, whether you're crying, whatever it is, a lot of us are in need of some form of healing. And so, in my opinion, I think that your music definitely heals and is going to heal others that haven't added it to their playlist as of yet.
Thank you, Tay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, I mean, we gotta have a little fun. The people we've been so serious. It's been just so serious. but I've got to just ask. I'm just going to shoot off a couple of questions, and I got to hear the authentic. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to hear from you all. And so, being a trio, the three of you all phenomenal women, and women, when we're touring, when we're going places, who would you all say is most likely when you all go on tour to have the most luggage? Who is it going to be? Who do y'all say out of the group? Who's the one that's going to have the most luggage?
It's easy. It's Elise. But not for the reason that you think. And actually, we might want to rethink this now that I'm going to say this out loud. Elise has to carry her luggage bag and her cello, and she's in charge of the merch suitcase. So she has 2 huge suitcases and a cello. And here come Kendall and I with our little instruments with our rolling.
And I took a small suitcase. Say I do not play. But my girl, she packs like you have, Elise, because you have so much stuff, you have really consolidated a lot of your personal stuff. I've
done better. I'm proud of my but I've learned from you guys.
I love it.
You should see us trying to pack an Uber. That's a whole other.
That's visual. Yeah,
I can only imagine. Only imagine. All right. The string queens are getting ready to get on the whiteboard and get creative. Who is most likely? I'm even afraid to ask this now that I thought about it. Who is most likely to be overly creative?
That's
like, it's always one in the group that we're like,
it's hard. We have moments like that.
I feel like we all do it in different ways, and then 2 others will call the one back.
Right.
So we do it. We just go in 3 totally different directions.
Right.
I love it. Okay.
So Kendall and Shuda look like.
Kendall.
Why
no, but it's funny because it's so diplomatic.
It is.
Like, you know what? Let's just try it. Now you already know what you're thinking about it, right?
I'm always ready to try it.
Always, let's try it. And then
after,
because even the person that puts out the idea, they need to hear it back in the group setting, not in your home singing to yourself, And then even that person's like, yeah, we'll just cut that.
Yeah. And at least when Elise hit you with the nah, baby.
Right. I feel like Dawn gets really excited. She's like, we could just. And sometimes we're like, let's try it. And then she'll come back when it's not, when it may not work, because we all have ideas that may not work. But when hers doesn't work, she's like,
It is a really fun process.
It is.
And actually, the laughs that we're having right now about it, Tay, these are also the laughs sometimes when we try the ideas that we have together.
You're like, I love it. And so just seeing you all's chemistry when I've seen you perform live, and just today, you all just have an amazing chemistry amongst yourselves. And so if you had to describe one of your string queens, I'm going to give each one of you all in one word, what would it be? So Dawn, if you had to describe Elise in one word, what would that one word be?
Kind.
Oh, okay. I love that.
I don't know if I can elaborate, but
you can, so go ahead. Because
like
everyone watching is like,
kindest, nicest, most thoughtful, endearing, pure, genuine, just beautiful people that I have ever met in my life.
That's so true.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
But when you meet her mom, you know why she's so kind the way that she is. Yeah.
We love mamas. We do. All right, Kendall, what's one word that you would use to describe Dawn?
Okay, I'm going back and forth because I was like, I think she's going to say Dawn. So let me go back and forth. I'll go back and forth between, I'm going to cheat. I would either say, they go together though, thoughtful And my other phrase is detail oriented, but they're really synonymous because she's detail oriented. If someone is having a birthday, if somebody has a special day coming up, if somebody who works on her staff, she's a leader at the school. And so if somebody that she supports has something going on that has nothing to do with work, they will have no idea that she remembered that small detail, and it'll make their whole day. It'll change their whole day. And people always have these years of memories of Dawn. I know I have my own personal ones, at least too, because she is so thoughtful, but they work hand in hand. And it comes to the music. It works in the String Queens, but also like, that's my sister. And I know like she's always thinking about her children, her husband, us, even praying for us, not to mention. So that's why I say thoughtful, but also detail oriented.
I didn't know this was going to make me emotional. I'm feeling emotional. This is good. This is good.
The Perry, Tay, the Perry.
It's the Perry. This isn't a foundation. This is probably a little moisture coming.
I love you, Kitty. I love you, girl.
That part.
Love you,
All right. Well, Elise,
I wonder who you're going to pick.
I wonder who it's going to be. What's one word to describe Miss Kendall?
Okay. So I'm going to make my 2 words into one, but I'm really just doing 2 words. It's a caring lawyer. So Kendall is so, like Dawn said, Kendall really cares about people. My first encounter of that was when we did our first show in Carnegie Hall. Mm-hmm. And Tay, we went up that day and came right back down at 3:00 in the morning. We had a 3:00 train back. And we were in the New York City train station. And it's kind of isolated. We're by ourselves. The mice, the rats are running around. And our famous people who didn't have, a regular home to stay in there, you just go to the train station and you just figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. There was this woman who was coming down the escalator and she was distressed. I'm not sure if, she had her faculties all there, but Kendall went up to her with the sweetest face and said, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Now I was like, "Kendall, let's go." I was like, "Kendall, we gonna move from here." Like, baby, come on. But it was so genuine, Tay. It was so caring, and she really cared about how this woman was doing. I was like, "Oh, my baby had been on the New York subway before. We need to get her out of here." But to watch Kendall,
she's familiar because she went to Howard. She a DC girl. She's familiar.
You just speak and keep it moving.
But she was so kind, and you should see her with her friends, her family. It's just caring. She's always giving. And without asking for anything in return. She doesn't expect a thing. It is in her nature to give. She is a servant. She is the servant of the Lord. This is one more thing, and then I'll go to the lawyer side. For one of her birthdays, she didn't want to party. She didn't want to do this big old bash. You know what Kendall wanted to do? And you can't turn down this invitation. She wanted to go feed the homeless. That was what she wanted to do for her birthday. Do you see what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. So we all made food, and she, one of the other friends got it all together, and we just went downtown DC. And we just served. It was so beautiful. Dawn's daughter made sandwiches. They had bagged lunches. It was wonderful. It was gorgeous. It was just like the epitome of a wonderful human being. Yeah. It's what God has called us here to do. And she's doing that, But let me get to this lawyer part. Listen. This girl knows her rights. Don't you play with Kendall. Girlfriend knows her rights. Don't come up there talking about you supposed to do this. Girlfriend is like, but title so-and-so of the blah, blah, blah. You better come correct. If you have a complaint, well, I need you to expound on that. You got to give me evidence on why you're saying what you're saying. Listen, don't play. Do not play. Okay?
It's great.
You're so sweet, Sharp. I love you, Sharp.
love this because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that your fans that love your music are just so tickled because who knew that these three distinguished young ladies on here are so down to earth. And that's my word that I would give for the string queens. You ladies are so down to earth, and it shows in your music. And now those that have got an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better can see it in your personalities. And so for me, these authentic queens of the strings definitely need to be added to your playlist. And so this week, our artist feature of the week that you've got to go ahead and add to your playlist is String Queens. Troubled Liberty is out now on all streaming platforms. You got to go ahead and add it to your playlist because it's definitely on mine. So if you all enjoyed this episode, which I know that you did, I need you to subscribe, like, follow, tell your mama, your cousin, everybody that you know to go ahead and watch it. Comment in the comments because you just don't know. The String Queens may just respond back to your question and, reach out to you. And if nothing else, make sure that you follow them on social media too, because it costs you absolutely nothing to follow. But when you follow them, you get to find out where they are, and they could just be in your neck of the woods. So until next time, y'all, this is your girl Tay with the String Queens. I gotta think what I'm gonna play. I don't know. Stay tuned. They might have a fourth member. Until next time, we're out.
Bye bye.
Thank you